Okay, hello. My name is Abriana Casada. I'm a graduate of the year 2024, and this is my AP art portfolio. Hooray! Okay, so basically for the College Board, you are supposed to make like an inquiry question, whether it's like be really deep or it could be really I think it just has to be really like critical thinking in a way. But my inquiry question was, how do social expectations slash personal identity shape the emotional landscape and lived experience of teenage girls? Basically, or more specifically, how teenage girls hold many expectations, but then experience so many emotional, complex, and awkward moments which shape them personally. Like, I think having my first kiss or getting my license really, like, it changed, not changed me in a sense, but it just made me feel a lot more like, whoa, this is real life. And I drew most of this concept by using color pencil and charcoal to contrast the emotional aspects and the expectation of those experiences. So color pencil would equal the expectation, which like, all happy or like this is what I thought would have happened, but then charcoal represents reality. And this is my first year in APR, and I don't recommend that like at all. Like, uh... anyways, this is my first piece, and basically this piece is connected to my SI, even though it was made in advanced art because it just resonated with me a lot with like it's scratchboard, so synthesis scratching away your childhood. And the closed flowers are supposed to represent fear of rejection, and the skull connects with loss of innocence. Because as a teenager, you're supposed to grow, and you learn about life, and it's like just crazy, like how you were a child, and then boom, like you're a teenager. And then also like fear of rejection, like your flowers. It's like you close yourself off from people because you don't want to feel unaccepted. And then this is my second piece. This piece was created by or with color pencil, specifically Prismacolor color pencil and Photoshop. The heels in the back are supposed to represent like maturity, how lots of businesswomen wear heels to perceive themselves as more like womanly, I suppose. And then it's like also black and white because you don't want to grow up. Like when you're a teenager, you're like, I don't want to deal with paying taxes and stuff. And then the colored pencil part, which is just basically jeans and tennis shoes, because those are comfy wear that most teenagers wear these days. And this is my third piece. Since I was raised a Roman Catholic, I always thought the Virgin Mary was like really beautiful, but in a sense, she is a mystery. She's a teenager, which is very weird considering she has a whole child. Um, and basically, I use the Virgin Mary symbolization in this piece for like teenage girls that are basically stereotyped. Like if you wear a tank top, you're like a slut, which in reality that's not true at all. And this piece was created with colored pencil. And this is my fourth piece. I did not like this piece that well because this was my first ever SI. I just rearranged the order, but I feel like it's not the best. But I just wanted to draw a piece about menstruation and like how people fear menstruation. So obviously there's like pads in the drawing, and then there's diva cups in the bouquet and cherries. And then I drew two friends because obviously as a teenager you connect with lots of people in your age group because you guys share similar interest. And then everything watercolor was in the background, and then the girls were drawn with Prismacolor and the table Prismacolor. And this is my fifth piece. This is actually made in boot camp, which is a thing Miss King uses to prepare you for your portfolio, which is very beneficial. And this is basically a continuous line portrait, and I used mixed media, and I used makeup in this, which is really good for synthesis because as a teenage girl, I use makeup, and I've experimented with makeup trying to alter my physical appearance, and then also it like reflects like how hormonal you get. And this is my sixth piece, and this was made with acrylic paint because it dries smoothly, replicating how women typically use skincare products to make their skin soft. And I drew the vines replicating the style trend in the Y2K era where people or where girls would wear their underwear above their jeans. I always thought that was really cute, and then I drew vines because it's supposed to represent how your body changes and it grows as you mature, which is very like it could be very uncomfortable, which is why I drew like spines or like little thorns, I guess. And this is my seventh piece, and I never grew up in an affectionate household, so my first kiss, I thought it was a lot. I thought it was gonna be more like High School Musical with Troy and Gabriella, but in reality, it was very awkward. So I drew the kissing portion of the drawing with charcoal, and then I drew the background with color pencil, and the flowers are supposed to represent my thoughts of like, oh, this is supposed to be a blissful experience, like this is supposed to be a happy experience, but it wasn't that. It was awkward. And then this is my last piece, and hashtag Hello Kitty, hashtag coquette. And I selected this for my last piece because it really ties in with, even if you are growing up, you still carry your inner child with you, and I recommend trying to protect that. And I created this piece with color pencil and pastel. I tied in the color pencil with being it one of the first mediums young artists are introduced to, and then pastel relates to how, as a child, we grew up with drawing on the sidewalk, and I use stuff like my favorite Hello Kitty watch, but also my license to contrast with age difference. Also my car keys, but with a child's keychain. So, yeah. And then this is my entire portfolio. Lots of support from my little sister for giving me some ideas, and also thank you for Miss King for just being so like the best teacher ever.